How's it going, boys? So the Fury of the Spriggan event is here, and with it there is some pretty good items that you can actually fetch. The Spriggan event started on the 1st and it will carry on all the way until the 14th. Now, usually haven't done, videos relevant to the event, but I felt the need to do this one because this one has some pretty good stuff that we can get. And they gave us a pretty good amount of time. They gave us about 2 weeks before this event goes away, so it gave us plenty of time for us to get some of these things. Some of the things that we're going to be getting, well, first of all, once we kill the Spriggan, we're going to be getting these 2 boxes, right? We're going to be getting the major Spriggan spoil, and we're also going to be getting the minor Spriggan spoil. All right, the minor Spriggan spoil, it just has some basic items like 700. It has some perks, and honestly, the best thing about the minor ones, it's just the consumables and the perks that it has. Eventually, you might find like a 700 piece of gear, but I wouldn't think about that. Now, for the major Spriggan spoil, this one, you can only get 3 of these a day. For the green one, you can get as many as you want. So you can spam those consumables or those perks, right? But the major one, you can get it only 3 times a day. The first thing that we're going to be looking at over here is going to be this Fangled Thorn Logging Axe. So basically, this is a 725 axe. So it's the maximum gear score that we have right now. And the perks that we have, Alacrity, Luck, Discipline, and Yield, these are an incredibly biz. The only difference between this and a Crafted Great Axe is that the Crafted Great Axe will have alignment, meaning that you get like a moat every time that you log a resource. But that one obviously will cost you gold. This one, you on the other hand, you can get this one for free, and it has the best perks available for a 725 tool. The only difference is that you won't be getting that alignment. But if you don't care about the moats and you just want to save yourself some money, or maybe you're just a brand new level 65 that don't have the resources, the gold to either craft a logging axe or to buy a logging axe, you can get this one from the event, which it has 4 base perks. Now, let's go ahead and talk about the loot. So the loot, it's they broken down into, well, geared and weapons. For the gear, we're going to have 3 sets. We're going to have a light set, a medium set, and a heavy set. For the 3, loadouts, the perks are exactly the same, so nothing changes. For the chest piece, it's always going to be Vital Synergy and Health. And for the remaining of the pieces, it's going to be Health and Freedom, all right? That is going to be for every single piece of gear, regardless of the weight. As you can see here, the medium, Health and Vital Synergy, and everything else, Health and Freedom. And for the heavy set, the same thing, Health and Vital Synergy, and for everything else, Health and Freedom. All right, so this gear comes at 715. Now, there's a couple of things I want you guys to understand. This gear cannot be upgraded, meaning whatever perk you get it with, those are the perks that you're getting it with. And the same with these weapons down here. These weapons are 715. Some of you might be like, whoa, 715, well, I don't know if that is actually really good to farm. The good thing about these weapons is that every single one of them come with Sundering Stack and Enchanted. As you guys know, Sundering Stack can go in the marketplace for a ridiculous amounts of golds, up to, 80, 90, 100,000 gold. And that is a very, very good perk, right? It's a very good perk that has reshaped the meta asset lately. And it's something that everybody should have at least something, something like this in their arsenal. Now, there's a couple of weapons here that are, that are worth mentioning. The majority of them are not good. But the bow, Divine Born Bow, that it has Sundering Stack and Enchanted. As you guys know, Enchanted is a pretty good perk for bow. And it also has Sundering Stack. Again, the Great Axe, every single one of them, right, is going to have Enchanted and Sundering Stack. So the only ones that I think that are worth looking at over here are those weapons that use a lot of basic attack for their main, for the main damage. And one of those is going to be the bow. And the other one that I was looking at will be the Blunderbuss, which is on the second page. Right here is the Blunderbuss. Enchanted and Sundering Stack. As you guys can see, they give you a weapon of each. Even the Life Staff comes with Enchanted and Sundering Stack, which it makes no sense to me. But hey, there it is. So other than that, maybe the Rapier. But if you're using PvE rapier, then it will probably be the finisher. Now, there's two things that I want to mention when it comes to this gear. You can see that the weapons, they do come with stats, right? Like the hatchet come with strength, while the spear comes with dexterity. The blunderbuss is going to be strength, and you know, the ice gauntlet is going to be intelligence, and the void gauntlet. Now, the last perk though, the last perk is completely random. You don't choose what perk this one will be, because like I said, that these items will not be upgradable. Meaning that whatever of these you get a day, that is what you're gonna be with, right? But remember, you can get up to 3 boxes a day, so you can spam these boxes. Eventually you're gonna get something that is quite good. I was doing it earlier and I killed a couple, you know, I killed my 3 of them, and this is the weapons that I got. I got a rapier with keen, sundering stack, and enchanted. Then I got the ice gauntlet with sundering stack, enchanted, and keenly empowered. Not bad, not bad. Obviously not the best, because eventually you want to move to like a 725 weapon, or maybe using like an artifact. But for beginner weapons, for brand new level 65, these are some very, very good picks that will, you know, just basically help you move forward. And you also have another thing over here in these boxes. These are some 725 items, right? There's some actual named items. Before I move to those, let me talk about the gear real quick. So the gear, it's also 2 random perk, and it's not the third perk. You don't get to choose of it, okay? But the other thing that we can talk about gear is the attribute. Now, as I'm aware, the attribute for the gear, okay, the attribute for the gear is not loot bias, meaning that if you are a strength player, you might be able to still get like dexterity armor or focus armor. This was like that 2 days ago. I don't know if they maybe fix it towards now it's loot biasing, but like I said, 2 days ago, the gear was not loot bias. The random perk will always be random. As for the weapons, they already come with the attribute, but the last perk is random. And for the 725 items, like this one right here, well, these are named items. Now, the thing about these named items is I was not able to see if these were upgradable in the kiln, because, well, they're 725, they are named item. Unfortunately, in these past couple of days that I've been killing the Spriggan, I have not been able to get one of these named items. But if you were to ask me, these named items, you might be able to change the last perk. Now, if somebody actually got one of these named items and you would like to correct me if I'm wrong, please leave a comment on the section down below telling me, yo, Trick, those items are not upgradable. As of now, don't take that they are upgradable, you know, as a face value. But please let me know, because I'm interested. But out of these items that I was looking over here, right, like the Trailblazer leg guards, these are come with health, arboreal conditioning, shirking energy, health. The pants, these are not bad pants. 725, and then you have a void gauntlet, spear, musket, and hatchet. The spear for me was the best one out of the 4 weapons. All right, it comes with flame attunement and bleeding sweep. It's not crazy overpowered, but out of the other weapons, like the musket, right, vorpal and flame attunement. Flame attunement is pretty awesome, but not everybody likes to play with vorpal on the musket. All right, usually you go for body shots. Maybe for PvE, it may be really, really good. Then you have the warhammer with refreshing mighty gavel and keenly empower. I don't know if mighty gavel is what you would use for PvE. I don't use warhammer in PvE whatsoever. And then the void gauntlet has keenly jagged and refreshing rupture. For me, this is a horrible void gauntlet. All right, another thing to mention, if anybody is into it, it's a transmog. The bow, this bow looks insane. This bow looks super cool. If you guys haven't looked at it, you know, you can make it mix and match with like an elf transmog, a yellow transmog. This is a very cool. As a matter of fact, all of the Vineborn things, they look pretty cool. Some of them might be reused asset, but you know, it is what it is. It's new wall, you know. But yeah, go out there and have fun at killing the Spriggan. Another thing to mention before you kill the Spriggan, go ahead and make sure you grab the brazier. Is that how you say it? Brazier? the fire thing on the floor, because otherwise he will not be able to do any damage to the big boy Spriggan or the archers nearby the thing. Just reminder, before you start the event, you need to set up the braziers on fire, and they cost you 10 iron wood for you to activate each and one of them. But other than that, I hope you guys have a phenomenal event, and I will see you guys very soon with more New World content. Peace and cheers. Bye-bye. Nah, all right. Beautiful.